Hey guys, what's up? It's Josh. In today's video, we are comparing a $7,500 DSLR camera to the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Over the last couple of years, as you guys already know, Apple has done a great job at making the camera inside their phone better and better and better. And now it just comes down to the point of like, is it actually worth it to go to the store to buy a DSLR because the camera in the iPhone is so good? I don't know, you guys can kind of answer that for yourselves. But in today's video, I went out and I shot two of the same exact photos, and then I shot a bunch of slow motion video, and I did it on the iPhone and on the DSLR, and I wanted to kind of compare them with you guys. So if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you go to the end of this video, or if you wait to the end of this video, there's gonna be some guidelines to be entered into the next giveaway since the last one was so good. But with that being said, let's compare some pictures and videos between these two cameras. All right, so here's the first picture. This is a picture of my friend Dan and his dog Jasper. And as you guys can see by these two photos, there's definitely some differences, but before I put the names up of which camera actually took which photo, I want you guys to guess, because I feel like when I first looked at them, it was a little bit hard to tell. The Canon 1DX Mark II is the image on the left, and the iPhone is the image on the right. So when you look at both of these images, you can kind of see that there's a little bit of difference when it comes to the sharpness of the photos and the colors and the way that the background is kind of blurred and all that type of stuff. One of the main differences that I noticed when I was editing was the sharpness of them. I feel like the iPhone kind of overcompensates with the sharpness, and it kind of just like adds a little bit too much, I think. Now, one thing that I noticed with the iPhone is that when it does that and it adds that detail, it kind of messes up the colors a little bit, and I think that it's trying to like bring down the highlights a lot, and it's trying to find more detail within the photo. Now, when you guys look at the Canon photo, you guys can see that the snow is very like natural looking. It's not too defined. You can also see that the background, like the colors in it are a lot more natural than the colors that you see in the iPhone photo. So that's the first photo. You guys can definitely see some differences. I think that the iPhone just pulled out a lot of sharpness and a lot of detail and like a lot of stuff in the snow that didn't really need to be there. So if you guys agree, let me know. All right, so moving on to the second photo, which this is just a picture of Jasper in front of the waterfalls. And so if you guys guessed that the iPhone photo was the one on the right, then you guys are correct. If you guys look at both of these photos, you guys can kind of see that there are some differences that you can obviously tell, especially now that you guys have seen the snow in the last picture. You guys can kind of see that in the iPhone photo, Jasper almost looks like he's a little bit green or like a little bit yellow. And then when you look at the DSLR photo, you can see it's more of like a natural color of what the husky looks like. So I think that when you do look at these two photos, they're both really good photos. It's just you can kind of see the difference between like the snow and the colors. I don't know if like it can get any better than that. Like I feel like that is still a great photo. It's just the colors that kind of were bugging me. So that's the only thing that I could notice that was a big difference between these two photos. Moving on to the next one, which I'm gonna show you guys a video of two of the same shots that were taken on these two different cameras. And I didn't shoot them in 4K, I shot them in 1080. The reason that I did that was because I wanted to use the slow motion feature on the iPhone, and then I used the slow motion feature within the camera, which is just the full HD 1080p 120 that it shoots. So here's the video. You guys can guess what one you think is which camera. If you guys guessed that the top one was the iPhone, then you guys are correct. So I saw two main differences between the two cameras. The iPhone, as you guys can see, is a lot darker. Like I feel like the blacks in Jasper's face and on the rocks is just like a little bit like more textured or a little bit more harsh. Whereas in the DSLR, you guys can see that it's a lot softer and the blacks look a lot more natural and it doesn't look as contrasty. So that's one thing that I really noticed. The second thing that I noticed again was the snow. You guys can see that the iPhone is just pulling all the detail out of everything that it can, whereas the DSLR is giving it more of a natural, soft looking look. So those are the two main differences. I think that they both shoot really good slow motion. It's just that the DSLR has has more of like a soft look, and the iPhone has more of a sharp, contrasty look. So I'm gonna do another video, and you guys can see this is a video of my friend Ben standing in front of the waterfall. You guys can kind of guess right now which one you think is which camera. If you guys guessed that the DSLR was the one on the top, then you guys are correct. I think that they're very similar, and when I was editing it, I thought that it was really hard to kind of decide which one I liked more. But one thing that I was kind of looking at that eventually I started to realize was that the iPhone video that's on the bottom has a little bit of a different colored white. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it almost looks like it's a little bit green or a little bit yellow, whereas the DSLR has a really true color of like that white. So you guys can see that the colors are a little bit different. So one thing that I noticed about the iPhone that I absolutely loved compared to the DSLR was the stabilization that it has within the camera. I felt like when I was shooting a lot of these different shots, when I brought them home and I was editing them, I had to do a lot more stabilization with the DSLR than I had to do with the iPhone. So yeah, that's one thing that I noticed that I really liked about the iPhone was just the stabilization of it. All right, so moving on to the next video. As you guys can see, this is a video of Jasper running through the trees. So you guys can guess which one you think is which camera. And if you guys guess that the one on the top is the DSLR, then you guys are correct. As you guys can see, when that video stops and you can see Jasper in both frames, I feel like the snow on the bottom, again, you guys can see that it's almost like a different white color. Another thing that I noticed that if you guys go to the very beginning of that video and then you guys pause it, you guys will see that the trees in the background they almost look like they're too black, whereas like the trees on the top in the DSLR video, they look like they're more of a natural black. So within all of these videos, I feel like there's some similarities that you guys can see. So those are the different videos and pictures that I kind of wanted to compare. I think that both cameras do a really good job at taking the photos and the videos that you need to take. I just thought that there were a little bit of differences between them that I wanted to show you guys. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments if you guys can see any other differences that maybe I missed. So obviously, if you go out and you buy a expensive camera like this, there's gonna be some features and some stuff built into it that the iPhone is not gonna have. And I think that the iPhone does a really good job at matching up to what this thing can do to a certain extent. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, I wanted to do another giveaway. So I'm giving away another Google Home Mini. In order to be entered in, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel and then go and let me know that you subscribe to it on Instagram. Those are the only two requirements, and then I'll be picking the winner in 2 weeks. So with all that being said, hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video.